Bucharest, my Bucharest. The city that held my laughter, my tears, my dreams. I remember the sunrise over the palace of the parliament. It felt like the city itself was waking up, running through the cobblestone streets of the old town. I knew even then I was meant for something more. Romania was home, but my world was a small stage. I wanted to perform on a bigger one. I yearned for a life outside the familiar. The world was a vast, unexplored ocean.
My family, they were my anchors. We were a team facing the world together. We had our struggles, who doesn't? But through it all, we had love. My parents always said, the world is your oyster. And so, I set my sights on America, a land of opportunity, a land of dreams, where a Romanian girl could dare to dream big.
The roar of the airplane engine was deafening as we touched down at JFK Airport. I looked out the window, my heart pounding in my chest. New York City. It was even bigger, even more overwhelming than I had imagined. As I stepped off the plane, the first breath of American air filled my lungs. It was the air of possibility, the air of dreams. Tears welled up in my eyes, a mixture of excitement and terror. I was alone, in a new country, thousands of miles away from everything familiar. But I was also free. Free to write my own story, to paint my own future. Taking a deep breath, I squared my shoulders and stepped into the unknown. This was it. This was my chance. The immigration line felt like it stretched on forever. Hours ticked by, each one amplifying the nervous flutter in my stomach. Finally, it was my turn. The officer asked me questions in English, his words a blur. I stumbled through my answers, my accent thicker than ever. He looked at my documents, his face unreadable.
Then, finally, a smile. "Welcome to America," he said, stamping my passport, and just like that, I was in.
New York City was a whirlwind of noise and energy. Skyscrapers scraped the sky, dwarfing everything I had ever known. Yellow cabs darted through traffic, their horns a symphony of chaos. The streets were a melting pot of cultures, a kaleidoscope of languages and smells. It was overwhelming, exhilarating and terrifying, all at the same time. I had found a tiny apartment in Queens, a far cry from the glamorous apartments I had seen in movies. It was small, cramped, and shared with a rotating cast of roommates, but it was mine. It was my little corner of the city, my sanctuary in this concrete jungle. The first few weeks were a blur of unpacking boxes, navigating the subway system, and trying to decipher the complexities of this new world. Everything was different, from the food to the customs to the way people interacted. I missed my family, my friends, the familiar rhythm of life back home. Loneliness washed over me in waves, threatening to pull me under. Work. It was the key to survival, the anchor that kept me afloat in this sea of unknowns. My first job was in a small Romanian bakery in Queens. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a lifeline. The aroma of freshly baked bread and pastries filled my senses, transporting me back to my grandmother's kitchen in Bucharest. Surrounded by the familiar sounds of my native language, I felt a sense of belonging, a temporary reprieve from the constant struggle of adapting to a new culture. I worked long hours, my hands covered in flour, my back aching from kneading dough. But I didn't mind. Each loaf of bread I baked, each pastry I arranged, was a small victory, a testament to my resilience. I met other immigrants at the bakery, people who had traveled from all corners of the world to chase their own American dreams. We were united by our shared experiences, our struggles, our triumphs. We became each other's support system, our makeshift family in this foreign land. We celebrated birthdays with homemade meals, consoled each other during moments of homesickness, and cheered each other on as we navigated the challenges of our new lives. Learning English was like trying to solve a complex puzzle. Every conversation was a minefield of unfamiliar words and idioms. I enrolled in an ESL class, surrounded by people from all walks of life, all united by our desire to conquer this new language. We laughed at each other's mistakes, celebrated each other's progress, and slowly, painstakingly, began to unlock the secrets of this complex code. I'll never forget the day I had my first real conversation with an American. It was a simple exchange with the cashier at the grocery store, but it felt monumental. I understood her questions, responded appropriately, and walked out of the store feeling like I had just climbed Mount Everest. But amidst the laughter and triumphs, there were moments of profound loss. Moments when the weight of being away from my family, my culture, my everything threatened to crush me. The holidays were the hardest. Christmas Eve, usually a time for family gatherings and laughter, felt hollow and empty. I missed the warmth of my grandmother's embrace, the comforting aroma of sarmal filling the air, the sound of carols sung in Romanian. One cold winter day, I stumbled upon a small Romanian restaurant tucked away on a side street. The aroma of misi and sarmale wafted through the air. Tears welled up in my eyes as I stepped inside, the familiar sights and smells transporting me back to my childhood. The restaurant owner welcomed me like a long-lost daughter. As I savored each bite, I felt a wave of homesickness, but it was different this time. It was a bittersweet ache, a reminder of the love and warmth that awaited me back home. The restaurant became my haven, a place where I could speak Romanian and indulge in familiar flavors. I made new friends, other Romanians who had made this neighborhood their home. It became a cultural hub, a gathering point for Romanians in the area. As my English improved, so did my job prospects. I landed a job as a translator at a local hospital, helping to bridge the communication gap between Romanian-speaking patients and medical staff. It was challenging work, often emotionally draining, but it was also incredibly rewarding. I saw firsthand the struggles faced by immigrants navigating the complex American healthcare system. I became their advocate, their voice, their guide through the labyrinthine corridors of hospitals and clinics. I helped them understand their diagnoses, navigate treatment options, and communicate their needs and concerns to their doctors.
My work as a translator opened my eyes to the vast cultural differences that existed even within the immigrant community. I learned about the unique challenges faced by refugees fleeing war-torn countries, the struggles of undocumented immigrants living in the shadows, the hopes and dreams of families seeking a better life for their children. I realized that the American dream wasn't a one-size-fits-all proposition. It was a complex tapestry woven from the hopes, dreams, and struggles of people from all walks of life.
Education. It was the key to unlocking my full potential, the stepping stone to a brighter future. I enrolled in community college, juggling classes with my job at the hospital. It wasn't easy. There were times when I felt overwhelmed, exhausted, and ready to give up. But I pushed myself, fueled by the sacrifices my parents had made for me, driven by the desire to create a better life for myself. The day I walked across the stage to receive my associate's degree was one of the proudest moments of my life. It wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a symbol of my hard work, my perseverance, my triumph over adversity. It was a testament to the transformative power of education, a beacon of hope for a brighter future.
Armed with my degree, I felt a renewed sense of confidence, a belief that I could achieve anything I set my mind to. I set my sights on a bachelor's degree, enrolling in a 4-year university.
Love. It found me when I least expected it, in the most unlikely of places, a crowded subway car during rush hour. He was American, a writer with kind eyes and a quick wit. We bonded over our shared love of books, our fascination with different cultures, our belief in the power of storytelling. Our relationship was a crash course in cultural exchange. I introduced him to the joys of Romanian cuisine, the intricacies of our language, the warmth and hospitality of my culture. He, in turn, shared with me the nuances of American humor, the complexities of American history, the beauty of his country's diverse landscapes.
Dating someone from a different culture wasn't always easy. There were misunderstandings, cultural clashes, moments when our differences felt insurmountable. But we learned to navigate these challenges with patience, understanding, and a healthy dose of humor. We embraced our differences, recognizing that they were what made our relationship so special.
10 years. A decade had passed since I first set foot on American soil. 10 years of challenges, triumphs, and transformations. I had come to America as a wide-eyed 21-year-old girl, carrying nothing but a suitcase full of dreams and a heart full of hope. Now, as I stood on the precipice of a new decade, I was no longer that scared girl. I had built a life for myself in this country, a life filled with love, purpose, and a sense of belonging. I had achieved things I never thought possible, shattered glass ceilings, and defied expectations. But through it all, I never forgot where I came from. Romania, with its rolling hills, vibrant cities, and warm-hearted people, would always hold a special place in my heart.
The echoes of home were never far away, but the call of tomorrow beckoned me forward. I had put down roots in American soil, but my heart yearned to make a difference on a global scale. I wanted to use my experiences, my voice, my platform to advocate for immigrants' rights, to promote cross-cultural understanding, to build bridges of empathy and compassion between people from all walks of life.